Hey there, future me. It's currently a Saturday morning. It's pretty, I guess, deep in the morning, or like the sun's gonna rise in about 2 hours. Fortunately, I haven't just been staying up playing video games just on my own. I was playing board games with Moon and her boyfriend. We'll call him Arizona. Yeah, we've been playing this whatchamacallit, we've been playing this Everdell, right? It's like a board game made by some European guys, I think, but it's like pretty solid, like city building, resource management game, and like Moon's currently on like a 5 game win streak, which is kind of like, bruh, what? Like I think like whenever we were first playing it, like I was winning the majority of the games, like the whenever like the three of us would play, because like I guess like I kind of knew what was going on. We were still trying to feel out like what cards were good and like what strats were at the time, but now like I think it's like stabilized a lot more, and so now it's generally just a matter of like who draws what, right? Like who basically like the person who's the most fortunate is probably going to be the most high scoring. I think like we all put up like respectable scores, but it's just a matter of whoever gets the best like hand sequences. And Moon's kind of been on like a tear recently, so that's just how it is. Although she'd probably say it's a skill issue. Anyways, like, would I really record this? Am I really recording this just to talk about like board games? Not really, right? Like it's been what I recorded the last audio on Wednesday morning, so it's been a week and 3 days. What's happened since the last week and 3 days besides that? Um, guess I what hung out with like Moon in Arizona like that weekend as well, and then I went to go stop by like Steps Place because like he's like at some place that has like a grill, right? And so like pulled something like out of the freezer that I got from like a free food event that I didn't really want to make because I was being lazy, and so we like threw it on the grill. That was pretty cool. I guess like before like doing this like what triple Everdell game session that like I did just like half an hour ago, like we like also went to like some hot pot place or something. So yeah, all in all, it's been pretty eventful pair of weekends so far. I suppose this weekend is just started, and so maybe it will bring further bounty. I guess the week itself was just kind of meeting with prof, making some plots, writing more things up, figuring all that out. Right? Like I guess previously, I think like the last like 2 weeks ago or so, I did something cute and like found some like analytic result that matched like the simulation. I was like, oh great, cool. So surely like if I do another analytic derivation, it'll work again, right? And then I'll be able to match things up and it'll be great. And Prof is like, yeah, totally, dude. We did the thing, we did the analytics, got some result, looked at the code, and it's like, wait, but this isn't what the code says. But like these analytics are like pretty legit. They were derived off of like elementary principles. So I guess like the code can't be wrong because the code's the code. So I'm probably just like missing like a factor of like 2/3 or something. It's like, ah yes, the so and so theorem conjures a factor of 2/3 because I said so. So that's gonna be, I guess that's like the current effort. There's also a bunch more stuff that I have to write up. It's kind of scary to think that like 10 days is what I think when I recorded the last audio for the last video, I was 2 months out. Now I'm under 2 months out. We're like about 50 days or so out from candidacy, and there's still so much to do. We have to do the write up. We have to study, right? We have all this like other stuff coming up. There's like all these small talks that I got like basically told to do that like before candidacy to prepare for candidacy, which it's like kind of like still should do them because they're like the stepping stones. It's probably good to like have something written up or have a presentation like somewhat made like 3 weeks out so that I can have more time to like refine it and build on it. But it's still kind of still a little bit weird. Still feels very very distant. Anyways, I guess like why am I recording this? Is there like a particular reason? Do I have a title on my mind? I guess I have a title on my mind. It's I don't have both of the words, but I at least have one of them. One of them is discipline because I think that's a reoccurring theme or like something that's kind of been just I don't know. I've been thinking about it. What does it mean to think about discipline? Maybe it's just that I feel like I need to be more disciplined, but why? Like I guess like I remember the first video besides the preface like for this channel was like sloth and self projects, right? Like the whole shtick was like, oh well, I can't let myself down, and then like later on like in another video which I kind of forget what the title was now. It's like, oh, but I can let myself down. And I guess it's kind of like, why is that, right? Like, well, it's because like I have some things that I believe that I can do, and because I believe that I can do them, I should go do them. Because I think I should go do them, when I don't do them, I end up feeling bad. I believe in my own ability to do certain things, and I want to go, or like, and I believe that I want to do these certain things. And so whenever I don't do those certain things and I do something else instead, maybe I indulge myself, maybe I sleep in, like, indulgence, like, what do you mean indulge? Just like not, maybe just like not work towards that goal. Maybe it's like just goofing off, maybe it's just spacing out, maybe it's sleeping in. It could be anything, right? And so whenever I don't do that, I feel kind of bad because I recognize that, oh, well, maybe I could have spent my time like doing that thing, right? Whether it be research or like, a project like this or some other stuff like playing keyboard, maintaining the house, like I guess like trying to get more reps in on the pull up bar or something, or going outside and like experiencing the breeze. I don't know. So it's like it's one of those ones, but it's a matter of like needing self discipline, right? It feels like the grad school path, like you don't really have there's not as much external structure, right? Even though like I guess all this candidacy stuff upcoming is kind of like scary because it's putting me under the gun. At least like in a ways, like it's nice because like there's something to look forward to, right? And there's also going to be like checkpoints and stuff because now prof is like more like I guess getting on to me for, oh, you should go do this, oh you should go do that, right? Because he doesn't want me to whiff. Um, it's weird to think that after this it's going to be a lot calmer. And before this, it was also a lot calmer in the sense that I could just like not be very productive throughout the entire week, and there aren't necessarily any immediate consequences, right? Because it's really just up to me to do what I need to do, right? If I want something to happen, then I have to go make it happen. And I don't know, like in some ways it's maybe powerful because I don't really have to worry about any external pressure, right? If I do something bad, then I don't really get smoked. Like if I mess up or if I don't do something that I wanted to do, there are no consequences besides I feel bad. And so I guess that's good because no one else is harmed by it, but it's bad because, well, yeah, I kind of wanted to do the thing, right? Sometimes I guess I wish it would be nice to not really want to do all this stuff. And I believe, like, I think if I, just kind of stopped trying and maybe tried to settle down somehow, like find like a job that's not as necessary, like, because I guess it feels like right now, if I want to succeed in grad school or if I want to have a shot at like being a successful academic, I have to like really, really make like this my craft, right? I have to put like my life and soul and like all that stuff into it to like even have like a chance at like making it out if I want to go into academia. But if I could also just take it easy and take this as like some kind of just fun project, and then once I'm done, just look for a simple office job or something that isn't going to work my mind too hard, that'll offer like a salary that's hopefully livable enough to where I can then just think of my job as my job and then spend my time afterwards just, I don't know, like just indulging, not really doing too much, maybe start some like self hobbies, right? And find my meaning in life outside of the career, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's probably the lives of most people. But for some reason, I believe in myself. Like, I don't really know what do I mean by that? Like, I feel like I can do more. It seems that off of, I guess, the past, like if I did all this stuff in high school, if I did all this stuff in middle school, if I spent all of this time, like, just, I don't know, spending time outside of school looking into like math and science and being really interested into it, and well, now I'm here, right? Like, surely this is something that I should continue, right? All of this is it's built up to this, right? And I see this and I do the things, I do research or well, it still kind of feels weird to call it research because it does kind of feel like like most of the time I'm just like monkeying around and like, oh, yep, change code parameters, see what happened. Ooh, look, take simple math, mash it together, see what happened, right? But like it's building towards something and it feels it's fun, right? And I recognize it. Like once you start doing it, it's really great. It's just I wish that I could get myself into that rhythm more often because it often seems that whenever I'm stuck at home, like it's just really tempting to be like, man, bed's real comfy, or like, like I could just do it tomorrow, right? Like, it kind of reminds me of this, yeah, it was like a story that my dad would used to tell me. It was like 等明天, which is like literally just Chinese for like waiting for tomorrow. About like, well, the protagonist would just keep waiting for tomorrow, and because tomorrow never happened, they just kept waiting. And I don't know, like it's kind of weird because it's not really something that like it's more so like just stuff that I tell myself, right? It's not really something that I can't go after other people, right? And be like, oh, well, how come you don't do this? Well, how come you don't, like wake up every day and go work hard, right? Because like one, I'm not one to speak, and two, even if I were one to speak, like I'm not in a position to really like tell them that, regardless of who they are, because that's just weird. I think like it's just one of those things that you have to tell yourself, which I guess is, well, this whole self discipline thing, right? I mean, what? Maybe an example would be like on Thursday, right? We have frisbee practice like from 8:30 to 10:30. Being a grad student in like year three and all that, I've already used up all my eligibility for like any of the big serious frisbee tournaments. So at this point in time, I just kind of show up and be an extra body, I guess, and also as a form of exercise. And so it was 8:30, and I was just sitting in my office, like just reading like some stuff on Wikipedia, going down like another Wikipedia rabbit hole, right? What I should have been doing is I should have just like gone over to like the field and just played, right? And so I just on my Wikipedia rabbit hole spacing out, and eventually like at like 9:15 or something, I was kind of like, you know what? Doesn't matter if I show up an hour late to practice. I'm still going to practice, and I should have just showed up like on time. But this is better than nothing. So I got my shit together and just walked over to practice because my office is on campus, practice is on campus. We're just walking over, right? Got my cleats, walked over, played some frisbee for an hour. It's pretty great. Might have dropped a pole, but we don't talk about that. They kind of, I guess, let me have it, but it was good, And then afterwards, like I was feeling pretty great. I ran a lot, helped a lot, just kind of like by being there because like there's not enough people at practice to like get that many subs, right? So if people get injured or if a lot of people get tired, then like it's maybe not as fun as it could be if there's like extra people around, right? And it seems that I don't know, I guess like me being there was probably better than me not being there for both parties, the team and myself, right? And so like I guess on the way back, I went back to up to my office to just kind of like cool down, right, before walking or biking back home, and it was just kind of like, damn, I wish I did this sooner. And I remember this feeling now, right? But I didn't remember it, I guess, or I wasn't able to will myself to go to Frisbee on time, pull myself out of the Wikipedia rabbit hole, and like do it on time. And I find that rather unfortunate. I think what I need to do, like, but I don't know how to do this, is to try to remind myself of these moments of, hey, whenever you got out of the like got out of the apartment on the weekend to go buy the groceries, to like walk through and just like walk through the neighborhood and all that stuff, that was actually pretty good. And walking back, it's nice. You can feel the breeze and you can see like all the people outside just like walking their dog or jogging, or like the kids like just on their little tricycles and stuff, and that's a pretty good time. Like, isn't that nice? Shouldn't you like go do this more often, right? This should just be something that you do and not really something that you have to lug yourself out of like bed, or lug yourself out of just like your chair for. It's like, yeah, sure. It's just like one of those. Just gotta do a better job. That's all there really is to it. Gotta have more discipline. And I hope I can pick that up sooner or later. Maybe like doing things like this is kind of a reminder somehow. But I don't know. Like, I don't really like using the language of, I guess, battles and all that stuff, because it feels really weird to like describe. Maybe it's just because the people who oftentimes like it's like those memes of like because you're like, why does God give me like the longest naps? Oh, because you're like the sleepiest soldier, or something like that. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's like 5 in the morning and my brain's like, I'm thinking, but I'm maybe not thinking the most coherently. So this is gonna be scuffed. more than usual, I think. But it just seems like the matter of becoming disciplined isn't necessarily one of those things to where like you just suddenly snap your fingers and one day you hit all the shots and you just like manage to win all of like the, oh, I should go do something, okay, I'll go do it, right? But it's more so just like increasing the probability that you will win something, right? So instead of it just being like, okay, I'm gonna go do everything now, it's just more of a, maybe just holding myself more accountable or yelling at myself more internally, right? Maybe this behavior is borderline self-destructive if I'm not careful. Like there's a chance that I could, maybe overexert myself and wear myself, like stretch myself too thin. But I think right now I'm probably more on the end of overindulging myself than I am on overexerting myself. So maybe I'll, take a step back once I feel like I'm truly overexerting myself. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like it's just kind of just one of those things. I wish I was able to remember, or I was able to just kind of like take a capture, a snapshot of how I felt like after doing something that like I had been meaning to do but was rather slow to get into the motion, right? I do enjoy going to frisbee practice. I do enjoy like, you know, biking to the office like on time and doing research and like sending an email back to prof like before the day ends, giving him like an update and all that stuff. There's not really any point in, not sending him an email. Even if I didn't like get anything done, I can at least say like, this is what I tried to do, this is what I saw, right? Like it seems that I have to be the one to initiate these external things to like hold me accountable, right? No one's going to poke my head in like if I don't show up to practice to be like, hey man, where were you at practice today? Like we missed you, like, and it's not going to happen unless like I ask him to hold me accountable, right? And prof isn't really going to bug me unless like I truly fall off the map for like a whole week or so. No one's going to tell me to get the groceries, right? Like that's one of the other things. Like I guess like I'll just starve then, right? No one's gonna check on me about like the piano. No one's gonna check on me about the YouTube channel. Like it's all just a matter of being more regimented and turning like I guess free time into, well, still free time, but now like because I have these things that I know that past me wanted to do and that present me still wants to do now, but maybe not necessarily as much as the indulgences which are tempting me, then I should go, I don't know, be more disciplined and just like go do them, right? I Yeah, I think that's all there really is to it. Don't really have any much more on my mind. I'm gonna close my eyes, go to sleep, hopefully be more productive over the weekend. Hey, maybe I'll actually upload this like before the weekend ends, and then that'll be pretty cool, and then we'll be on pace, I guess, for like weekly uploads. Sure, totally. Um, so yeah, guess that's all I got, future me. See you next time.